Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 229. It is December 3rd, 2015, and we are 3 weeks out from Christmas. Not to put anyone in panic mode or anything, but I'm glad I have one person I'm knitting for Christmas that's halfway done. Should, in theory, be able to finish up what's left. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm going, yeah, Karen, you're living in a dream world. Luckily, the person I'm knitting for is very flexible about when her presents arrive, so yay! On that note, first things first, the Slippery Slope socks that are riding around in my Tangerine Designs TARDIS yarn cabinet bag. I actually had a chance to knit on these this week, or the last couple weeks, actually. Number one, I'm sorry, it took me 2 weeks to record, but with the holiday and everything, it just wasn't going to happen. So the good thing is, what I hadn't even realized I was kind of in a knitting slump. Like I'd sit here on my days off like all day with the babies, the kids playing around. I can't call them babies anymore, they're toddlers. I'd sit there with them playing around me and I'd just be like sitting there staring like a lump. Meh. Didn't want to do anything. But that's over, thank goodness, for the moment. We'll see how long it lasts. And first thing I've been knitting on was, well, one thing I'm going to show you in a bit, but first thing that is actively on the needles are the Slippery Slope socks by Melia Bella. They're available as a kit. I believe they're up on Ravelry, like the project is listed, but I don't believe you can purchase them individually yet. I could be wrong. Melissa, chime in if I'm wrong. I believe they're available as part of a kit through Casey from Tangerine Designs. So I was a test knitter. That's how I got a hold of the pattern. And the first sock is done. Obviously, these are not for me. These are for my friend Sarah. This is her Christmas present. So the colorway and the yarn is socks, Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock Lightweight in the Superhero Blues. And this was part of the Rock and Sock Club last year, 2014. So it should be up and available on the website because I believe this was the August shipment, so you should be able to purchase that through Blue Moon. The pattern, I don't know if you're going to be, oh, you can kind of see it where my hand is through there. There are these double yarn overs in there that mine kind of closed up, so you can kind of see them when it's really stretched out, but not really. I'm knitting them on US 1.5s, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. So this morning, waiting at the doctor's office, don't worry, everything's fine. I had to go in for a wellness check, that's it. But they're switching over to a new computer system, so there was a lot of waiting time. I managed to finish the toe and weave in the ends on this, the first sock, and then later in the morning, I had to wait at the mechanic because the heater in my car wasn't working, and you know, heaters in cars, oh, bugger. Okay, saved. Whew! Heaters in cars not working in winter in Colorado, anywhere in the Midwest, anywhere where there's winter, quite frankly, is not a good thing. In fact, funny story, my husband actually was driving my car home from work one night, got pulled over by well, he was already pulled over, I should say, by the police in the small town near the hospital we work at, because they were worried he was having a medical problem because they'd watched him stop the car 3 times and get out of the car and then get back in. And it was just because the heater was blasting out cold air. It wasn't heating at all. And he was getting out to scrape the windshield because we were in the middle of a storm and he couldn't, the window kept icing over and nothing was helping keep up with it. So, sitting and waiting at the mechanic today to get that fixed, which thankfully it was an easy fix. It wasn't super expensive, so yay! I did start the second Slippery Slope sock, and it's just a wee bit of ribbing right now. That's all. But there was a woman that was working at the mechanic while I was there, and she came over, saw me knitting, came over and was telling me how she'd had a health issue a few months ago and was looking to get back to her knitting, and they'd actually told her to take up spinning because it would help lower her blood pressure and her heart rate. And I was like, oh yeah, and how she had never been able to get into or figure out how to knit the heels of socks because she's left-handed. She knits kind of a form of left-handed because she's basically mirroring a right-handed person sitting across from her, but she said she was knitting upside down. Now, she didn't show me how she was doing this, but she does want to learn how to knit socks, so I showed her a couple different examples of socks that I had with me. And we had a big old discussion. I introduced her to Ravelry, so another one hooked. Yay! But yeah, these are coming along. I'm like 8 rows into the ribbing, I think, maybe. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe I'm like 6. Yeah, I'm 6. Okay, I don't know where I got 8 rows from. I was guessing. But just that wee little bit of ribbing, and this sock has a lot of ribbing, so I'm sure I'm going to be kicking myself for doing that much, but there you have it. First thing on the list. Second thing is Gabes Flax sweater. I have been working on it, albeit slowly. So this was Tara's, and I'm making a matching one for Gabe out of Cascade 220. So hers has been done for quite a while. His is slowly coming along, slowly. I have got a bit more done of the first sleeve. I have to do the sleeve out to 4 inches even, and then I'll start the sleeve decreases. So this is knit up out of Cascade 220 Superwash in the color 1951. Highly imaginative. It's kind of a heathered blue. It's a very pretty blue. It'll look good with his eyes. But it's coming along. I'm working the sleeve on a US 8, which is a 5mm needle, and I'll do that until I get down to the ribbing and then drop down to a 6 just to make it a little tighter. But these are, the pattern is Flax by Tin Can Knits, and like I've said before, it's got a huge range of sizes, everything from itty bitty newborn baby up to like triple or quadruple XL. I forget what the chest measurement is on it, but I think it's like 58 inches. It's in the high 50s, low 60s. I can't remember exactly, but there you have it, Gabes Flax. And that's been kind of my downstairs knitting while hubby's been gaming and I've been helping him. So that's why it hasn't gotten a lot of work done on it, is because I've been helping him find things in the whole Assassin's Creed Syndicate universe. I've been his little checklist person. So okay, side note, little gaming wife, gaming widow issue here. So that book that I got, actually, you know what, hang on, I'm gonna go get this book so you guys can see it, because it's pretty awesome. Alright, I'm right back. So this is part of the book, part of the present I got him for our anniversary. He happened to spot it. It is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate Official Collector's Edition Guide. And he just happened to be walking through Best Buy and spotted it by the Assassin's Creed logo on the front. It's amazing. It's not only got walkthroughs of all of the sequences at the front, it's also got, when you go further back, all these little tabbies are things that we're working on right now. What's that one? Oh, things like there's gang wars, there's different missions, all of that's in here, and it tells you how to do them. Now granted, you can do them your own way, but the game makers actually came up with this book. This is the invaluable section, the collectibles section. This is where my little OCD comes in, because you have to clear, oh, he took them all out, oh bugger. You have to clear different sections of the city. You have your own little gang of the good guys, I guess, the rooks. And your gang is trying to beat back the bad guys' gang, who are called the Blighters. And part of that is you have to go through, and there's certain side missions that you have to do to clear the city so your rooks can take over. Well, in the process of that, as you clear each section, you're also looking for chests and what are called helix glitches and beer bottles, pressed flowers, secrets, poster ads, and this breaks it down borough by borough of the city. So as we go through, I'm checking them off and telling him, no, go here, go over there, and we only have a couple sections of the city left to go, but it took us a little bit to figure out, okay, we'd get done, or think we were done. Like I'm actually playing, I'm not. I'm running the book. And then it's like, he'd go, I still have 2 chests to find. I'm like, are you kidding me? We did all of them. So we'd start going through them all again, one by one. So what I did for the next section of the city, OCD, I took sticky notes, each section, and however many chests, however many helix glitches, numbered, separate post-it for each one, numbered them, 1 through whatever, 1 through 40, 1 through 60. And as we found that one and he collected it, I'd cross it off. So then we'd be able to figure out, nope, we haven't got that one, we haven't got that one, and not have to go down, because there was one section of the city, I think it was Lambeth, could be wrong. There were 40 chests and we were missing 1. Started at the top with number 1, worked our way down. Yeah, it was chest number 37 that we had missed. So to prevent that from happening again, that's what I've been doing. So in between each section, or if he decides to do a sequence of the main storyline, I'll grab my knitting or I'll grab my cross stitch that I have right there and I'll work on it a little bit. That's why Gabe's sweater hasn't had a whole lot of work done on it, because I've had my nose buried in a gaming guide. Which it's been fun too, but that's why. I'm making excuses. I just haven't been knitting on it, honestly, because I've been helping my husband. Okay, I have an FO. The new leaf socks for Amy, Froggy Monkey are done. They're finished, completed. They are big enough to fit me. Now, I had my friend Sarah, when she was here visiting, try them on, and she said that they are just fine for her. She does wear a slightly smaller size than Amy does, but she's like, I also feel like my feet are fatter. So hopefully, Amy, these will fit you. This was the first sock completed, and it had a nice smooth transition even with doing the heel flap. I did a 72 stitch vanilla sock with a heel flap on a US 1? Yeah, 2.25 millimeter needle. This is out of the Gale's Art Special Secret Sock Blank in the New Leaf colorway. And Amy had picked this out at SSK. So I finished the first one quite a while ago, finished the second one on the 27th, and they have been washed, they have been blocked. There is just, we had all this speckly bit from where the leaves were stenciled. Just a little bit of that came in on the toe for the second one. But that's okay, they're meant to be fraternal. The only thing I'm not super thrilled about, this one, even with the heel flap, there was kind of a nice smooth transition down the top of the foot. This one, there is a very, very stark line. I'm not thrilled with that, but meh. They're not meant to match exactly. They're meant to be fraternal. Fraternally matching socks. So after all of that, socks big enough to fit me with I think I did a 6-inch cuff, 7-inch cuff. This is what I had left. This little bitty bit at the end of the sock blank. So there was still some leaves to go, but that's okay. And this will get sent along with the socks, so Amy has yarn to darn with or to make a blanket square or whatever she wants to do with it. So Amy, they will be on their way to you. I'm not going to make any promises how soon. You'll get them before Christmas. How's that sound? So FO, done. Started those September 22nd. I finished them November 27th. That is way too long for me to take to knit a pair of socks, but oh well, that's life, right? Next. I'm sorry, I gotta get more coffee. Because along with that whole wellness screen physical this morning, fasting blood draw. Great. I got the first slot this morning for an appointment. I was there at 7:30. They didn't draw my blood until almost 9. No coffee unless it was plain. I don't drink my coffee plain, so that's a big no. And I'm just sitting there waiting and my head's pounding. And I got home and I had to turn around immediately and take Phoebe to the vet because I was cutting it close. So I didn't get my first cup of coffee until almost 10. So this is cup number 2. It's, what time is it even? I don't even know. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. But I'm getting in, I think it's caramel banana caramel. I always mess up what order those are. I think it's banana caramel. But anyway, I've also got some stitching done this week on my pokey things. So let me move that up just a little. The Very Merry Christmas Town from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm still working on clue 2. This is like the never-ending clue, I swear. The first one went so quick and the second one is just taking forever. So I finished the pink swags along the top, and I filled in some of the gingerbread, this brownie color that the shop is. There was a little bit of it that had to go along the side of Mrs. Claus, and then there's this line across the top and filling in where the little divots are in the gold frame around the candy shop sign. And that's all that I did on this one in the last 2 weeks. That's kind of pathetic. So I'm working my way back across that long line, and then the brown will be done for this shop. I still have to do there's little candy canes that pop up in between each of the pink swags at the top. There's still a couple colors, couple or 3. I think there's 3 colors still to be filled in of the little dashes, sprinkles, whatever you want to call them, in the candy shop sign. And I need to finish with the candy jars down in the window, as well as do backstitch Mrs. Claus's mouth. So I don't know how much I'll get done. We'll see. Nah, yeah. It's not going to be done for Christmas. I know that right now. Next year. I'll have it done for next year and framed. Oh, someone asked me, where do I get my cross-stitch stuff framed? The answer is, I don't know, because I haven't actually taken any to get framed. That's awful. The few things that I've done that I've framed, I have done myself. They are not professionally mounted and done. It's basically I shoved them into a picture frame and smushed the back on and hoped it was straight and glued it in place. No, just like secured the back on and hoped it didn't shift or move, and that's it. So only a couple people have gotten those things, so if they shift, I'm very, very sorry. My new ones, all of the Frosted Pumpkin ones that I've been working on, those will all be professionally mounted. I don't know if I'm going to take them to a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby or find another framing business that's dealt with cross stitch before, but I will get them like matted and framed and mounted to make sure to actually show off my work. Yeah. The other one, I worked on something besides A Very Merry Christmas Town. Once upon a time, I did pull out during the twins' nap time earlier this week, and it's not going to look like much, but I finished, let's see, I think I had finished up to like right above this second leaf here on the May block, which is Jack and the Beanstalk. So I basically did like half the beanstalk up in that main green color. There is a contrasty green that I have to fill in the bits on the leaves and make little vines and stuff, but the beanstalk is done. Yay! I'm calling it a win. I hadn't touched this in so long, and I wanted to work on it a little bit because I feel bad that here we are coming into another year, then to the end of another year, and I still haven't finished that. But it will be done. I'm going to substitute out the year at the bottom for, I think for, I saw someone else's recently that said the end in place, so I think I might do that instead. We'll see. That's it for Pokey Things. So, various and sundry. I have a few things to talk about this week. I'm not just throwing stuff together. First, of course, right after I recorded 2 weeks ago, I went out and checked the mail, and my sock blank club from Gail's Art was there, and I was like, shoot, I should have checked this before I recorded, but that's okay. So, Gail is doing 3 months of the sock blank club, or I signed up for the 3-month one. I signed up for the single sock blank, so it's similar to the sock blank that I just did for Amy, but in that it's one long continuous thing, and this is November's. She has I think a November, a December, and a January. This is November's. It is called, let me see, The Fallen, which of course, referencing the fall, are leaves all the way down in different colors. These ones do bleed through just a little bit, but she's got them stenciled on. They're really pretty. I like the colors this time. Like I'm ever gonna not like the colors. But she did have options of the single knit sock blank, which means you will have two fraternal socks, just like the socks I knit for Amy. Or there was, I forget what it's a double knit, which means there's two strands held together, which means your socks will match or be very, very close if they're not completely identical. At least the color transitions will mirror one another. So I opted for the single because I only knit one sock at a time. I don't do two at a time. So there's the first sock blank club. And she also sent along some chai spice tea and some maple sugar candy, which I haven't tried yet because I wanted to show you guys. Cute wee little maple leaves. I'm very excited to try it because I love maple candy. And she told us where the maple syrup candy came from, and that's it. So not a ton of little extras, but we're in it for the beautiful yarn, right? We're not in it for the... I'm not in it for the extras. I've got enough stuff cluttering up my house as it is. So I'm happy to get something that I can enjoy. Tea and a couple pieces of candy is good for me. And then the yarn itself, and that's good. I don't need like little toys and other things. So I know other people feel differently. Your mileage may vary, but I enjoy this this particular sock club. So, oh poo, I didn't go get that. It's okay. So also in the mail, in the meantime, I got a new sweater for Tara from Jess Easton, who is Show Me Your Knits over on Ravelry. And I'm sorry, I don't normally pull out my phone, but I forgot the sweater, so I have pictures of Tara being adorable in her little sweater from Jess. And she saw it first thing in the morning and said, "Bows, pretty," because the little buttons on them are little silver bows. And they're adorable, and she loves it, and it fits beautifully. And she was being such a ham and such a good little knitwear model. There you can see the picture, the bows a little more clearly. Now she also, thank you, number one, thank you, Jess. She loves it, I love it, it's adorable on her. You might know, I know I talked about Tara having to wear the patch on her eye in the last show. We're just trying to correct her right eye was starting to cross. It's not developing the same way as the left, at the same rate as the left eye, so we're trying to strengthen it until mid-February or so when we go back to the doctor. And she also just yesterday got her glasses, so you'll be seeing her wearing some cute little pink square frames in pictures on Instagram if you follow me there. Just so you know, there's nothing wrong. She just has some vision problems, and we're fixing them. Trying to fix them anyway. Strengthen that eye up, and it seems to be working. So we put the glasses on yesterday. Wow, cool! And she's looking around and makes me wonder how little she was seeing before, but she can see now. Yay! Oh, and I didn't grab the Gleaner either. Oh, so I bought one of the things I bought back in July while I was at SSK was a Gleaner, and it's a sweater depilling tool, and I actually used it on my calligraphy cardigan. I could not believe how much fuzz I got off this thing, and I didn't even use it that hard. And it's already pilling up again, or I didn't get everything off. It looks so much better than it did before. It was starting to look really ratty, and I was almost embarrassed to wear it out of the house. But oh my gosh, if you don't have a Gleaner, get a Gleaner. It is wonderful. I barely spent any time on it, and compared to the little depiller shaver thing that I'd gotten from another company. It's not even comparable. The Gleaner works so much better, so much better. Plus it's all, it's, I don't even know how to describe it. Like a pet brush almost, and it takes the pills off. And there's 3 different, it's not really a shaver. I don't know, it's a depilling tool, but I love it. If you see one at your LYS, it is totally worth the money. I definitely recommend it because, oh my gosh, yeah. I spent probably 20-25 minutes on this sweater, not to compare it to the hours and hours I spent with the regular sweater shaver. But it worked so much better, so much quicker, and it's just a sweater that has a lot of surface area to it, so that's why it took me so long. Last thing, work is changing again. So I just started this admissions nurse position in early September. They're doing away with it. We're going back to how it was, the staffing matrix as it was when I first started, which means no admissions nurse. I'm going to be working day shift now, so yay! Well, not so much yay because that means super early mornings, and I am not a morning person. I'm really not a morning person, but we'll make it work. It'll be nice to, I'll be on a similar schedule to what I am now. However, I am going to go back to recording on Wednesdays because I will have all of my Wednesdays off. So those of you who it threw off your normal schedule to have me recording on Thursdays, I'm going back to Wednesdays. So be happy about that. The new schedule won't go into effect until January 10th. So everything will stay as it is through the holidays and through early January. I think I'll probably keep up this every other week until then, and then try to transition back to every week, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, a lot of information we just went through, so I think that's it. Until I see you again, which will probably be in 2 weeks. What is that? Oh, poop. Let me check my calendar. Make sure we're not out of state or anything fun like that. 2 weeks is... yeah, the 17th. And that's the day we fly out of state. I'll try to get something up before then. That's all I'm going to promise you. I can't even remember when I work. I don't remember if we'll make it work. I'll figure out a time. I will be recording, probably not next week, but probably the week after, before we leave to go out of state to see family for Christmas. And so until then, knit fast, especially if you're knitting for Christmas gifts and you're not done yet. And until I see you again, happy knitting.